Hello, good evening everyone. I'm Lawrence Pineda and tonight we're gonna talk about the theories of learning in social studies. And one of these theories is constructivism. What is constructivism? Constructivism is an approach to learning that holds that people actively construct or make their own knowledge and that reality is determined by the experiences of the learner. So in this simplest definition of constructivism, makikita na natin kung ano yung pinagkaiba ng constructivism sa iba't iba pang theories of learning. Kasi sabi dito, people actively construct or make their own knowledge. Ibig sabihin, yung learning ay hindi natin nilalagay sa kamay ng mga teachers, kundi yung learning ay nakasalalay sa kung paano makikipag-interact o sa kung paano magpa-participate yung mga estudyante natin. Ibig sabihin, sila mismo yung magdi-discover or sila mismo yung magbibigay ng insights about doon sa topic na dinidiscuss natin. In elaborating constructivist ideas, Arendt in 1998 states that constructivism believes in personal construction of meaning by the learners through experience, and that meaning is influenced by the interaction of prior knowledge and new events. So dito makikita natin kung gaano ka-essential yung part ng mga estudyante sa constructivism. Kasi sila mismo yung magiging batayan kung na-apply ba natin yung constructivism sa classroom natin. For example, magbibigay ako ng example dito. For example, you're talking about economics and ikaw teacher, nagtanong ka ng what is the relationship of demand and supply at paano ito nakakaapekto sa pricing or sa paggalaw ng presyo. And for example, yung estudyante mo is sumagot ng, sir or ma'am, nung namalengke po ako, nakita ko po na maraming bumibili ng isda tapos konti lang yung nagtitinda ng isda or konti lang mismo yung isda. So ibig sabihin mataas yung demand and mababa yung supply. So paano nakaapekto yon sa presyo ng mga bilihin? So sumagot yung estudyante mo na, napansin ko po sir na kapag marami pong bumibili ng isda tapos konti lang po yung supply, parang mahal po yung pagtitinda na ng isda. So in that situation, makikita natin na from the experience itself ng estudyante mo, nakakapag-formulate siya ng sagot or nakakapag-formulate siya ng idea or nakakapag-construct siya ng sarili niyang insights about sa topic mo. And next one. Constructivism is considered as part of the cognitive revolution, an intellectual movement that began in 1950s as a response to traditional behavior theories, whereas behaviorist theorists view learning as a passive process. Cognitive theorists believe that learners play an active role in constructing their own ideas. In other words, learners must actively engage in the learning experience to retain information and construct knowledge. So yung constructivism, parang nabuo siya or nag-start siya just to address yung issue na nakikita natin sa traditional behavior theories wherein nagiging passive learners lang din yung mga estudyante, wherein yung teacher lang yung nagsasalita ng madalas tapos yung estudyante nakikinig lang. So sa constructivism, it's a vice versa. Kung si teacher nagdi-discuss at nagbibigay ng sagot, dapat si estudyante din is nagbibigay din ng sagot at possible din na magtanong si estudyante kay teacher. So doon makikita natin yung interaction and active participation ng estudyante natin. The cognitive revolution was pioneered by Jean Piaget, who is widely considered the father of constructivism. Constructivism shares many of the same principles as cognitive theory. So sabi dito 'di ba na just to make it clear na hindi parehas yung concept ng constructivism and cognitive theory. Kasi although nag-share sila ng same principles, pero hindi sila totally parehas. Sabi dito, however, there are a few key differences. The main difference is the role of social context. While cognitive theory views learning as a purely internal and mental process, constructivism views learning as a combination of cognitive development and human. So kung sa cognitive theory, it only focuses on purely internal and mental process or sa intellectual aspect lang ng isang estudyante. Sa constructivism, it's a combination of the two. It's a combination of cognitive and social aspect ng mga estudyante. And the works of Vygotsky have also been crucial in the development of constructivism. Vygotsky stated that learning isn't a purely internal process, nor it is a passive shaping of behavior. Sabi ni Vygotsky na no, sa pagkatuto hindi lang dapat hindi lang siya nakafocus sa kung ano lang yung naiisip ng estudyante, sa kung ano lang yung kapasidad ng utak niya, at sa kung paano lang siya mag-interpret ng isang bagay, pero dapat sa combination ng intellectual and social aspect niya, or pwede rin siya makipag-interact para mas matuto siya. So he believed that social setting, culture, environment, and context play a significant role in constructing knowledge. So ito yung sasabi ko kanina na malaking epekto yung environment, malaking epekto yung interaction or yung socialization ng isang estudyante sa pagkatuto niya. Kasi kung yung estudyante na yon nakapag-share ng experience niya at hindi na-experience ng ibang estudyante, so definitely yung ibang estudyante is magkakaroon din ng knowledge from the experience ng estudyante na nag-share na yon. So constructivists also believe that language plays an essential role in learning as the sharing of knowledge happens through communications. Of course, hindi naman magkakaroon ng communication between two parties if walang language. So ganun din kalaki yung factor, or ganun din ka-essential or ka-crucial yung part ng language sa pagpo-promote ng constructivism. Of course, pag sinabi natin actively participation or active participation, kailangan may communication dyan. Nagbabatuhan sila ng information sa both parties. Sabi dito, Brunner's constructivist learning theory. As Brunner's theory was heavily influenced by Vygotsky, he also believed that social interaction was the heart of education. So naniniwala si Brunner's na yung social interaction ayun yung puso ng edukasyon. Ako, for me, personally speaking, naniniwala rin ako dito kasi I know na hindi naman lahat ng bagay ay nararanasan ng isang estudyante. And ito ngayon nagiging dahilan kung bakit nagiging unique yung learning, lalo na kapag nanggagaling sa own experience ng isang estudyante. Kasi yung experience na yun, possible na hindi pa na-experience ng ibang estudyante. At once na share yun ng estudyante na nakaranas na yun, magkakaroon ng knowledge yung ibang estudyante. So Brunner viewed learning as a process of discovery and stated that individuals build upon their knowledge through the organization of information within different modes of representation. So naniniwala si Brunner's na hindi lang din basta interaction, pero may iba't ibang way kung paano ipopromote yung constructivism or kung paano ipapakita yung constructivism sa classroom natin. Sabi niya, modes of representation refers to how information or knowledge is stored and encoded in memory. So, maraming modes of representation yung sinasabi ni Brunner na maaaring tumulong para makapag-encode or kung paano ma-attain or ma-obtain ng estudyante yung knowledge, and kung paano niya rin mai-store o ma-retain yun sa memory niya. Sabi dito, the modes of representation are, first, inactive representation. Ito yung action-based. Ibig sabihin, gumagalaw or ginagawa ng estudyante mismo yung pagkatuto or yung discussion nila. Like for example, yung mga groupings na ginagawa natin, and dito na po promote yung kinesthetic learning style. The second one is iconic representation or the image based, at dito naman na po promote yung visual. Image, ibig sabihin kahit anong visual na nakikita na hawakan, model, pictures, photos, etc. Ayan yung mga example ng image based. Dito nga na po promote yung visual learning style. Third one is the symbolic representation or the language based. I think ito yung kung paano na dinideliver and kung paano na rin yung medium of instruction, and dito na rin nakikita yung sa language based yung written learning style, wherein sa text, pwede rin yan sa text na text or sa mga books, textbooks, and other visual na may related sa language. Now, let's proceed to types of constructivism. Types of constructivism, the first one is cognitive constructivism by Jean Piaget. Cognitive constructivism focuses on the idea that learning should be related to the learner's stage of cognitive level. These methods work to help students in learning new information by connecting it to things they already know, enabling them to make modifications in their existing intelligence to accommodate the new information. Cognitive constructivism comes from the work of Jean Piaget and his research on cognitive development in children. Of course, kailangan natin i-consider din yung intellectual capacity ng mga estudyante natin. Like for example, hindi mo naman pwedeng ituro yung topic ng pang grade 9 sa mga grade 7 students, kasi yung kumbaga yung kapasidad ng utak nila na i-acquire yung knowledge or to interpret the knowledge is hindi pa ganun kahasa kumpara sa mga grade 9 students. And malaki din yung factor na binibigay ng cognitive constructivism sa kung paano ba i-apply ng mga estudyante yung mga prior knowledge na na-experience na nila para sa mga new knowledge na pwede nilang ma-attain. The second one is social constructivism. Social constructivism focuses on the collaborative nature of learning. Knowledge develops from how people interact with each other, their culture, and society at large. Students rely on others to help create their building blocks, and learning from others helps them construct their own knowledge and reality. Social constructivism comes from Lev-Vygotsky and is closely connected to cognitive constructivism with the added element of societal and peer influence. So si Jean Piaget and Lev-Vygotsky medyo magkalapit yung idea nila sa constructivism. However, dito kay Lev-Vygotsky, yung social constructivism, mas sinamahan niya ng societal and peer influence. Ano yung example nito? For example, yung mga pag-groupings, pag-brainstorming. 'Di ba, mas maganda na mas maraming ideas yung nanggagaling sa iba't ibang tao para mas makapagbuo ng fruitful output yung isang grupo na yon. And kapag nag-share ka ng ideas, possible kasi na hindi pa yun naiisip ng iba. So, mas magiging effective, mas magiging makabuluhan yung pag-collaborate nyo kapag maraming ideas yung naibabato. So, ayun yung sinasabi ni Lev-Vygotsky. The third one is radical constructivism by Ernst Voss Gleiserfeld. Radical constructivism is very different from cognitive and societal and social constructivism. It focuses on the idea that learners and the knowledge they construct tell us nothing real, only help us function in our environment. So ito, parang opposite naman siya ng paniniwala ng cognitive and social constructivism. Parang sinasabi nito sa radical constructivism na tinutulungan lang tayo ng mga ng knowledge na na-acquire natin just to function sa environment na kinabibilangan natin. The overall idea is that knowledge is invented, not discovered. So, ibig sabihin, parang nag-i-exist na yung knowledge. Hindi yung mga estudyante mismo yung nakaka-discover ng knowledge, kundi parang andoon na yon, kailangan nilang malaman. Unlike sa discovery kasi, once na pagsabing discovery, parang sila mismo yung pinanggalingan ng knowledge na yon. The things we bring to the table make it impossible for us to have truth, only interpretations of knowledge. So, ibig sabihin, kung nag-exist na yung knowledge na yon, ang kailangan lang gawin ng mga estudyante is just to interpret that knowledge na galing din sa iba't ibang studies. This theory was developed by Ernst von Gleiserfeld in 1974. So, in conclusion for this part, constructivism learning theory underpins a variety of student-centered teaching methods and techniques which contrast with traditional education whereby knowledge is simply passively transmitted by teachers to students. So, katulad nga ng na-discuss natin last last meeting about sa teaching approach, meron tayong teacher-centered and learner-centered or student-centered. And dito sa constructivism, mas na-apply siya sa student-centered wherein yung student mismo yung sentro ng pagkatuto, hindi sa teacher nang gagaling mismo yung pagkatuto, kundi we're just teachers are just facilitators of that knowledge or the learning, pero yung estudyante mismo, sila mismo yung nagko-construct, nagko-formulate ng sarili nilang pagkatuto. At for me, mas nagiging effective yun, mas mare-retain yun sa mga bata kung galing mismo sa experience nila, kasi di ba mas madaling tandaan yung isang bagay kapag naranasan mo na. So ayun lang. And the characteristics of constructivism will be reported by Bartholomew. So, thank you very much for listening.